Something magical is being made. I am baking. I am making butterscotch. I am expanding my horizons to try something new and fun. I am baking a butterbeer cake inspired by butterbeer that you can get over at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Here today on RJ's Food Rocks. When you think about the weather and it's cold and it's February and it's still 16 degrees outside here in Chicago, and the one thing that I missed was butterbeer. Now, if you're lucky enough to be able to go to Universal Studios, you can have butterbeer 3 different ways. You can have it the way it normally comes, like in the movies. It's like the drink with the heavy butterbeer foam up top. You can have it frozen, or you can have it hot, which that is my personal favorite version. It's so rare to actually have it be cold enough in Orlando, want a hot butterbeer, but when you do, it just warms your heart. It feels like a liquid version of those butterscotch candies that your grandma used to have in their purse all the time. Lucky me, I have very talented friends. My friend Caroline has an entire website dedicated to recipes. It's called Thyme with Caroline. Here's a beautiful picture of her holding her baked goods. She is a lot more qualified in cooking and baking than I am. One of the recipes that she had was a Butterbeer Cupcake inspired by Harry Potter. So I was like, okay, well, what if I wanted to, amp this up a little bit and make a cake instead, because Valentine's Day was just this week. I have these cake pans that I've had for so long and I have not found a use for them. And I don't have cupcake pans, so why not make a butterbeer cake instead? So I even wrote down the recipe, making notes as I went along. This is a whole new brand of RJ's Food Rocks. We are learning. Okay, we want to be better. This did not go perfectly, but I definitely took notes and see what I could have done better. So here we go. We are learning how to make butterbeer cake at home. The butterbeer cake recipe basically incorporates 3 different things: the cake itself, the buttercream that goes on top, and the butterscotch drizzle that kind of emulates that butterbeer frostingy, foamy layer up top. Okay, you're first combining all of your dry ingredients first. I am combining 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of regular granulated sugar, a teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I realized that I wrote down on the mixer bowl, combine your wet ingredients, and on another bowl, combine your dry ingredients. I did not do that, so I had to flip it around. So I moved my dry ingredients from the mixer to the regular bowl. I told you, we're learning. We want to be better. We want to grow. 2022 is a year of growth, and we have to be better, okay? So on the mixer bowl, you're combining all of your wet ingredients. So that's 3 eggs, a 1/2 cup of canola oil, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and about 1/2 cup of buttermilk. Now, you are combining all of your wet ingredients with your paddle, and I have this on low, and I'm adding the dry ingredients in batches, about 3 batches. So I'm doing a little bit, and then in between those batches, you are using a 1/3 cup of cream soda and using that as a kind of interrupt the batches of the dry. You're gonna combine this until you get a nice cake batter. All right, so I have the oven preparing for 350 degrees and I am greasing my pans. I thought this cake batter would make 2 cakes. It did not, obviously. So this recipe only created 1 cake, so I'm just using a 1-layer cake. It has space to expand, so this probably filled up about 3/4 of the way. So the recipe called for 18 to 20 minutes, but that is cupcake activation, okay? This is cake activation. I ended up having to bake it in 5-minute increments after the 20 minutes had passed because the center of the cake just wasn't cooking at all, but the sides of the cake were cooking. So if there are real bakers out there, if you have a trick, I ended up just covering the top with foil, and then I kept baking it and would just check in every 5 minutes. It ended up being about between 35 to 40 minutes until I could do a cake test, which is basically just poking the center and making sure that it's dry. I kept doing it, I think about the 40-minute mark, but my sides and the bottom got really brown and really dry. So there must be a way to figure that out. Now I know this Hot zones on the oven is also a very important factor. There are certain parts of the oven that are hotter than others. So I think I need to understand that too. But the temperature of the bottom and the sides just got so hot so fast. So I need to, there's a little bit more research that I need to do to get there. But we will get there. But anyway, you have your cake. You're going to let this cool completely on a wire rack before you even put any sort of frosting or butterscotch on top. Now let's make this frosting, okay? It is a buttercream frosting. Back in my mixer bowl, I am using 2 sticks of butter in room temperature, a 1/3 cup of powdered sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, and about 2 tablespoons of bourbon. I ended up using a little bit more sugar. I just kept tasting it. I wasn't getting the right kind of whip on the butter. It was a little bit greasier. So I think I just needed more sugar to kind of counteract all that. But to be fair, this buttercream is more butter leaning flavor because that's the taste of butterbeer. It's definitely more butter. Onto the stove then to make the butterscotch, I am melting a 1/2 stick of butter on a saucepan. Once you see the butter melting, then I am adding a 1/2 cup of heavy cream, a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and about a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. And I'm just letting this simmer. I am mixing this frequently to make sure I don't want it to burn, but I'm mixing this to make sure I have a nice smooth butterscotch. I've never made butterscotch before. This was very exciting. Now the time comes of frosting the cake. So I do have offset spatulas, so I'm very happy that I have that, but I don't have a cake stand, so I'm doing the best that I can. I cut that, so the middle really puffed up, right? So I cut that, I took that off, so that way I had an even surface, and then I started layering the buttercream. I wanted to make peaks and valleys, so that way the butterscotch could kind of pool in some of those valleys. But I think I needed to make them a little bit more dramatic. As you'll see the final product, it looks like a plate of mashed potatoes. So if that's what you're going for, go ahead. Trying to make a little bit more peaks so that way the butterscotch can nicely drizzle and pool, and then letting it kind of trickle and cascade on the sides. But I put it over in a plate, and there you go. There is my butterbeer cake, or it could be a giant plate of mashed potatoes and gravy. So you'll just have to eat it and find out. But there you go. Ah! Wow!
Stupid.
Magic really is
Magic.
real. Magic. Magic is magic. Okay, here is our butterbeer cake.
So we definitely need a cake. What is it called? Cake stand?
Cake stand. When you see the
Splooge.
splooge that I had to spread on this cake on our plate, it looks like tres leches.
Okay. I can
just
see
the
tres
sappy-
leches.
just
Super
the
sappy. Very
sap-
moist. Yeah,
Yeah.
delicious.
What do you think
This
it
looks to me like gravy on top of mashed potatoes.
mashed potatoes and gravy. That's kind of a gag. Like if I
If you're
ever
literally
made-
meaning the word gag,
Yes.
then yeah.
Okay, fine. I will taste it first.
You're the baker.
I'm a baker now.
Ooh.
I know the bottom's a little. So I had a really hard time making sure that the middle was cooked.
Did you didn't use the toothpick test or the
I did, and it was always wet, so I kept putting it for a longer time, covering it with foil so that way the top doesn't burn. But it ended up getting the sides and the bottom really hot. So.
I can smell it. I can smell the butterscotch.
Mm-hmm. Cake's a little dry. I have some ways to go. You know, I gotta learn. But I will say the buttercream and the butterscotch really moistens that up on your bite. Before the feedback happens, this recipe was originally a cupcake recipe. And I think it works better as a cupcake recipe than a cake.
That would be my guess.
But we're here to learn, you know. And I think it'll
We
make...
don't have a cupcake pan.
We don't have a cupcake pan. That's true. We have a...
The Food Rocks budget is only so big.
We have a moon pie pan. This would be kind of cool moon pies. Like the cake would be the moon pie, and then this butterscotch buttercream will be the filling, maybe? What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think of the butterscotch? It's my first time making butterscotch.
The butterscotch is great. It's very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I already want a glass of water.
This might be the sweetest thing I've ever made.
I mean, you don't make that many sweet things, probably. Wingardium Leviosa.
Adam, don't do that! No! Wait, no! Hey, thanks for joining this episode of RJ's Food Rocks. You can find me on all of your social media at RJ Food Rocks. Thank you again to Caroline for this recipe. You can find the link to her recipe down below. It is for cupcakes, and as we've discussed in the episode, probably a better activation for this recipe. But if you want to learn how to make the cake, you can watch this and learn what I did wrong. If you like this and all of my other videos, and if you just want to, follow my journey and see me become a better baker little by little, then you can follow me on the Patreon as well. For $5 a month, you can support and join these lovely group of people. You have a chance to win a monthly gift. You get bonus behind the scenes videos, and it's just a fun time and a great way to say, hey, I think you're doing it. Okay job, here's $5, have a coffee or something. You can also find all of my other stuff on the Ampliverse. You can find recipes of our previous episodes over there. You can find my podcasts, our shows. We've got a ton of fun content over at the Ampliverse, so go check it out. If you love Harry Potter, you can definitely keep the Harry Potter magic going by listening to Harry Potter and the Anxious Millennials. That's a podcast over at the Ampliverse. They also do videos now on the YouTube channel, so you can watch Adam in action talk about Quidditch rules and who Bertha Jorkins is and all that fun stuff. But anyway, thank you so much. If you have other recipes that you'd like me to recreate, send them my way. I would love to make them. I'm manifesting for 2022 a moist cake, please. But anyway, that's it for me. Make sure you subscribe to the channel over here and watch my other videos. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye. 감사합니다. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew.